Okay, so I want to give like one tip on, you know, washing your clothes or whatnot. Anyway, one tip I do have is, okay, so here's a sock, and as you can see, it's inside out. One thing I do before I even do laundry, I make sure that all the sock or all the laundry, like if I'm, doesn't matter if I'm wearing shorts, pants, shirts, or anything like that, I always make sure that it's like this, right side out or whatever. So that way when I go to put it away and everything, all I have to do is kind of like roll them up and then put them in the drawer. I don't have to sit there and fool with them and get them like, like the correct way. So here's a tip. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind when it comes to like maybe any kind of bathroom in your home is, I try to at least clean mine like once a week and everything. And I'm kind of talking about more like a surface clean and all that stuff. And I make sure that when I clean my sink and my toilet, I clean top to bottom and everything like that. I don't just clean the inside of the seat and stuff like that. I make sure I kind of clean like the whole entire thing. So I just want to kind of tell you that to keep that in mind. That way, when you do have guests, like if you do have a pop-up guest or somebody comes over to your home or whatnot, and they need to use the restroom, you don't have to panic about it not being clean. So that's one thing I do is I just make sure that my whole toilet from top to bottom is clean. And the same thing with my pedestal sink. I try to make sure it's clean too. And my mirror here doesn't really get dirty that often, but I do at least clean it maybe once a month or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to give you the overall look. Here's an overall look. So as you can see, it is pretty wiped down. So I'm showing you kind of like the bottom here. And then the same thing with my toilet area right here. Let me pull up the seat so you can kind of see. So the inside is pretty much clean. And the bottoms are clean too, right down here, as you can see. Did I miss a spot? I might have missed a spot. Hang on one second, guys. This is funny, guys. So I thought I had missed a spot, but it turns out it's just a reflection of my toilet paper holder. But anyway, so keep that in mind. And as you can see, I did restock my toilet paper in this cabinet here. So it's all restocked and replenished. So there we go. Okay, so the same thing with my front entrance area. I try to keep it pretty well maintained. I try not to have a whole lot of stuff and everything. Now, my daughter does when she goes out to play, she keeps a lot of her shoes and stuff like that over here in the corner and all that stuff. That's fine. But as you can see, I have no jackets kind of hanging up in here too because it's getting to be summertime. So we put all that stuff away. So that way my front entrance is clean and well maintained. Okay, I'm just giving you all an overall look. As you can see by looking, there is no coats or anything like that. This is our reusable bags that we do use for grocery shopping. But other than that, that's all that's around here. Then I'm going to show you another place. Stock toilet paper is right here. So we have plenty of toilet paper. Okay, guys, so here's another tip as far as keeping your, like any room in your home tidy. Basically the living room, because that's where everybody congregates, that's where everybody probably watches TV and whatnot and all that stuff. And then of course your guests, when they come over, that's the first place they pretty much kind of come. So I do keep some things in here for my preference or whatnot. But as far as keeping it maintained, I straighten up the charging center, and that's pretty much it. And I kind of straighten up the couch area and stuff like that. But as far as the living room, and just so you know, I do have apartments in my, my couches and whatnot. But anyway, I'm gonna give you the overall look at how the living room looks. Okay guys, so I'm gonna pan around so that way you can see how the living room looks. But overall, yeah, it's all straightened, it's all vacuumed, and you can see the charging station is good. One other thing I was gonna say is this, is that these couches, they have storage. Just showing you kind of what we have. They all have storage. And all of them have these little arm thingies, so we do keep things in here. So I'm just showing you guys. And then I have my slippers in here too, so I make it work for me, whatnot. But as you can see, yeah, plenty of storage. And this couch, kind of like the same thing. And as you can see, one other thing I wanted to point out is this thing will lift up, but I pretty much keep it down all the time because I just kind of like leaning up against it or whatnot. But here's our other couch, same thing. It just and when we got these couches new and everything, that's one thing we were accounting for, because we don't like having like coffee tables or whatnot, and it gives us more room in the living room area. So just keep that in mind when you like buy new furniture. Make it work for you. Make the storage work for you. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to give you a little overall look of what the living room looks like and how we use it. Okay, so as you can see, we are in my bathroom. And as you can see by me, it's pretty much a mess. Now, some of this is like, a couple of days, I guess, like of a mess or whatnot. I knew I was going to be filming and everything, so I was like, I'm not going to like straighten it up or clean it up because I want to kind of include this in my footage. So technically speaking, my counter does not look like this every day. However, kind of love filming to a low disclosure. For filming purposes, I decided to kind of let it get a little bad. But anyway, so this is one thing I was going to say was this, as far as my bathroom, really isn't that bad considering and all that stuff. So I'm going to kind of do a little pan around so that way you can see what my whole bathroom kind of looks like, okay? Okay, so my toilet closet, not that bad. I kind of moved the camera a little bit so you could see it. And then right now our cat is eating, but you can see we made that like a little feeding center for Bristol right here. But as you can see, it's really not that bad as far as being neat and clean and whatnot. And then of course the shower, and I clean that while I'm in the shower, whatever, especially during the summertime and all that stuff. So anyway, so just wanted you to kind of get a glance of that. So as you can see, my bathroom isn't really that bad as far as, the counter being messy, yes, but the rest of it, not so much. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I need to get this area cleaned off and everything, and then I'm going to do some new stuff. So stay tuned. Okay, so I am done in my bathroom. So I'm fixing to kind of show you, but I think you saw from the other clip that you know what I'm pretty much doing and everything. So this is just something I want to kind of do that I'm kind of incorporating and all that stuff, okay? So I'm trying to make things kind of useful for me, like storage and whatnot and all that stuff. So I'm trying to make it work for me type of thing. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I did. So as you can tell, this right here, it just basically houses my Q-tips. And I will get one out so you can see Q-tips. And then this one kind of holds my tissue. And then I have a little bit of like hair things right here. Hair scrunchie type of thing. And these, you know, I basically use as like my wash rags type of thing and all that stuff. So anyway, I wanted to kind of make it look a little bit more fuller. So that's why I kind of rolled them up or whatnot, all that stuff. But anyway, that's one thing I'm kind of doing over here. Okay, so over here, I just felt like something was kind of missing from this area and all that stuff. And like I said, I'm just trying to make my bathroom kind of work for me and kind of make it feel more luxurious. So anyway, when I do, I guess, what you call self-care or whatnot, I have cotton balls here. And I got these vases from a group I'm in. I think it's called Buy Nothing or something like that. And went to my community, and I got these vases for free. And I knew exactly what I wanted to use for them and all that stuff. And then, of course, this was over there in my toilet area, and I was like, you know what? I've had it over there for a long time. I wanted to kind of make it look a little bit more decorative and all that stuff. So I kind of stole the hand towel from over there. Now I know it's been on the toilet over there, so I'll probably do need clean it, but this is kind of for video purposes. I am going to go clean, make sure that these get clean and all that stuff, just so you know, an FYI. But anyway, and I just thought, well, I'll kind of make a little section out of it. And again, I use these like washcloths to wash my body off or whatnot and all that stuff when I'm in the shower and everything. And of course, the cotton balls, I use it for self-care. So I kind of wanted to make a little station out of it type of thing. So anyway, so that's that. And over here is my Godly Granny products. And as you can see, and these were gifted to me too, right here and all that stuff. But anyway, this is all of our most of our Godly Granny products and everything like that. But anyway, I'm trying to make my bathroom a little bit more spa-like. Okay, so I think I did a good job with it. Anyway, so I was just going to say this, make your storage work for you. And that's kind of basically what I'm trying to do this video about, is make the storage work for you, make things work for you. You don't have to do everything else, what everybody else is doing. So anyway, if you like this kind of content, make sure you do subscribe, like, share, comment, do all the things, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.